Hello, trading is closed on June 26th, 2017. My last call said there was a good chance of gapping under this low, and if that happened, we should be in for a big drop. I said if there was no such gap, the call was killed before the open. That's what happened. Almost always when my calls don't work, there's a strong gap in the undesired direction. And so no one has to lose money. It's killed before the open. We looked for a pattern with an early high and a late low. That's what we got. Tomorrow's pattern should have an early high. This was a target from June 20th. It wasn't too much help then, but the market never forgets these numbers, and today it was a perfect resistance area. There's a new target for tomorrow of 24.4360. I don't think it's going to print, but you never know. Don't forget, MEJT likes to leave a failed target at a major change in trend. During the day here it said ultimately lower prices would print. When they did it said it was a false move, that prices would recover to this level, but that didn't happen. So we'll add this to the target. Now this is a pattern with both positive and negative aspects, and typically when that happens, the most common thing is we gap outside of the range, and the next most common thing is we close a little change. It's negative that we gapped up and closed under all the prior highs. Unless that's invalidated by gapping up and promptly taking out this high, it typically leads to lower prices. It's positive that this is a formation which almost always closes at the day's low, and when that doesn't happen, it's usually positive, but that's invalidated if we gap down and take out this low. Based on that, we should gap outside the range, or alternatively close a little change and have the big move the day after. Now let's go back to Thursday. Here was a low to high. We didn't close near the high. It's a negative formation. We went up instead. I said if we gapped under this, it would make all things right. That didn't happen, but we closed unchanged. That means nothing's changed. If we gap under this low, or at least gap down and move under it promptly, it shows all this recovery attempt was a false move. Now let's look at why I still think the market's in trouble here, and the market's going to move. It should move pretty quickly because the week of the 4th of July holiday historically is one of the most reliably positive weeks of the year. Doesn't mean we have to go up every year, but if you drop during that week, you're in real trouble. Almost always that week is an up week. Here's the old VIX, VXO. We got down as low as 8.09 today. So even as the market was falling from its highs, we hit what could be an all-time low, showing the most complacency we ever have had. This shows the premium investors are willing to pay for puts, and it's as low as it's ever been. These wrong way Corrigans are usually wrong. Here's the real trouble. A day after a new all-time high, multiple prior highs fell. It's a sell signal, but you need confirmation. Confirmation is closing under all these lows and then going under that. Well, we had previously 2.5 days, now 3.5 days of rally attempt, and we're still not able to close over any of these prior highs. It's not good, but until we get confirmation by going under these lows, it can still be invalidated. Now, my previous timing date was June 17th, which is a Saturday, and it worked out to be June 19th, which is here. I had a date of June 26th, which is today. We got an Adam and Eve top, and the question is this going to be a double top? Well, for that to happen, we should gap down tomorrow. And if we did gap down, it really should be the start of a big move down. This point has to fall at some point. These are GAN support resistance levels, and you see how we got stopped by this level as resistance, but now we couldn't close over it. Tomorrow I'm looking for a pattern with an early high. If we are going to drop, I think now's the time to do it. Here's the ideal situation. Ideal situation is gapping down, taking out these lows, hitting it. After gapping down, we should recover for a high, have a high in the middle of the day, which I'd like to be lower than the early high, and then keep on dropping with a low near the bottom of the day. I can't say it's guaranteed, but that's what I'd like to see if my scenario is going to work. I think the early trade should give us a clue if we're going to get that or not. If we don't get the big gap down, the next most likely thing is a gap up. And the third most likely thing is we close a little change. I'm still looking for a big drop here. And we'll know by early tomorrow if I get it or not. And that's today's call.